Welcome to the Tremor Saga! There are no words on the screen, so I don't know what to do for you. Yeah. Hi, you don't really fucking care. You just want me to talk about tremors. You looked up the word, you Googled it, you saw a video. You're like, why? So I'll give you one reason. Bert! Are you sure you don't have any more bullets? Did you check all your pockets? You know, as I lie here, I can't help but cry. The reason I am out of 9mm rounds is that I was not properly briefed. And the reason for that is this mission was not properly researched. If certain people had bothered to gather intelligence on the creatures before bumbling into the situation, we wouldn't be stuck down here with single-shot big bores when we should be packing full auto, preferably belt-fed. Shut up! They're Precambrian life forms, Bert. How's anyone supposed to research Precambrian life forms? What difference does it make now? I mean, we're stuck here on a goddamn roof with a bunch of what's-its trying to eat us. I mean, I have done this before, and I did not like it. Oh, okay, so things didn't work out exactly the way I planned. This is all my fault now, yeah, alright? If I had the right tools, I'd finish the job. Please! Could you all just cool it? Now look, no one has heard from us since last night. Which means you're going to be out there looking for us, right? So all you gotta do is sit quiet. Okay? Bert! Whoa. Now, you can either turn the video off there and be like, wow, I just watched whatever the fuck that was. Or you can go down the graboid hole with Valentine and Alice all the way down. Yes, it's terrible. Did you know Universal took Tremors, this whole franchise, from all of the people that made it for 25, 30 years? They had them make it, and they're just like, yeah, fuck you, goodbye. And the last 3 Tremors movies have all been rip-offs of what these people made. Alright, so let's begin. You can find all this in links. Right fucking here, because I don't actually like talking on video. So this has been really hard. This is my 3rd take. Here we go. We start in the 1970s with Steve S. Wilson, and he's in the Navy, and one swell of a guy, and he's out walking around, just doing Steve Wilson-y things, and he's hiking, and manages to make his way upon a boulder, and upon this boulder does he sit, and think to himself, you know what would be a really great idea for a movie? If I couldn't get off this rock right now. Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. So, I'm gonna put that in the old back pocket and save it for later. And honest, I love you, Steve Wilson impression. Don't hate me. I really do that. And, you know, let's face it, that's 1977. You live your life. Things go on. Blah, 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 blah. You start making movies. Oh, you find this guy, Brett Maddock. Yeah, you start working with him. You know, we do a draft of the Land Before Time. Naked Batteries Not Included. Short Circuit. Yo, Nancy Roberts is coming up and being like, hey, I'm a producer, and I'm awesome. I need to have a Nancy Roberts. Nancy Roberts comes up and says, hey, you know, guys, I'd really like to make some Tremors. Oh, there was a good Nancy
Roberts impression. And I love it. And you cannot call it man sharks, because that's terrible. But that's actually, yeah, that's what Steve Wilson had written down. So, not all ideas, gold. That's where these guys are great. They all work together. Stampede Entertainment. Look them up. Seriously, there's a whole website for them. No. Ask them questions. Go tell them they're lovely people. So Nancy Roberts, Brent Maddock, Steve Wilson, off making movies. Nancy says, hey, yo, love your land sharks idea. Let's not call it fucking land sharks, though. And we start making it. And, hey, write me some drafts, write me some scripts. All right, cool, great. Doing all that. All right, well, I'm going to, start shopping it around, seeing if anybody else likes the idea, too. I am a big Hollywood producer. Good job, Nancy. Takes it around. Nobody wants it. Not because Nancy's terrible, but because it's a mix of comedy and horror and romance, and that's, like, freaking people out. They don't know how to market it. Dumb, right? Nobody wants it. Alright, well, oh, look. Lovely Gaylan Hurd over here manages to catch wind of it. Alright, well, she wants in. She's like, I love this idea. Yeah, we're gonna see if we can't shop it over here to Universal. Because they love monster movies. That's kind of their thing. And Universal says, yes, we do. We love that monster. Yeah, we can make money hand over fist. We're very concerned that this picture may have underlying issues structurally. That seems like a racist accent, but truly, these people are vaudevillian villains to the extreme. I just realized vaudevillian villain. Universal says, alright, Stampede Entertainment, you can make this movie. Here's $15 million. You get some big names in it. Boom. You get even bigger names, we'll give you even more money. They get Kevin Bacon and Reba. She's literally only known by one name. Reba. If anybody wants to edit in a picture of Reba McEntire. And Universal's like, you know what? That $15 million is not enough. Or it's too much. It's too much. Let's take it. And they took $5 million of it back. And they had $10 million to make the first Tremors. And there was an entirely crucial scene with the car sinking into the ground. The doctor and his wife get eaten. The car pulls into the ground and gets eaten. The car gets eaten. It's horrifying. And they were like, but this is incredibly important. We need this for our characters to discover later on. What the fuck? This car got eaten. What the hell could eat this? What the hell could do this? But why would it do it? Universal says, okay, alright, I'll give you $1 million. And they're still not even able to complete the car scene like they wanted. Like, they shot everything that they could. Still got, literally, they had one day to do it. Got too late in the night. Couldn't shoot anymore. That's why you get two headlights going out. Wonderful practical effects solution to a car scene, right? There's a whole storyboard where she actually tries to break out, gets on top of the hood, and then sinks down. Horrifying and terrible. Didn't happen, but we can still get that idea with screams and some headlights. So this Tremors movie, man, gets made. Makes Kevin Bacon sleepwalk in the middle of the night. Kira Sedgwick and him literally had their baby while he was filming this. That's kind of amazing. Like a Tremors baby. And actually, if you read Jonathan Melville's Seeking Perfection, it's a wonderful behind-the-scenes look at that entire production, mainly. I mean, it goes into everything else, but that first movie's love and generosity behind the scenes is something that's really hard to beat. This first movie gets made. Tremor, wonderful, lovely. Universal starts looking at the numbers and goes, yes, VHS, okay, this is pretty good. I like that a lot. comes up to Stampede Entertainment and says, you know what? We want a Tremors 2 Aftershocks. Give it to us now. Please and thank you. Almost, like 7 years later, make us a sequel, right? VHS is doing so good. They literally use this phrase, not paraphrasing. We can put Tremors on an empty box and sell it. Horrifying, right? I don't know. Tremors 2 gets made, and they're writing the script. Originally supposed to have Kevin Bacon's Valentine and Reba McEntire's Heather returning in their roles. Oh no, it didn't work out. But there is a script for it, and it's lovely and awesome, and you should check it out. I mean, it's not exactly the same movie. You watch it and see that even people saying the same lines is different. You can have literally the same verbatim line. Actors play it differently. That is the difference between Kevin Bacon and Christopher Garden. So this Tremors 2 Aftershocks movie gets made, for whatever money they can happen to use to make it, while there's still all this money being made behind the scenes, because then they want a third Tremors movie. So you're like, okay, well, there must be some money being made here if somebody wants a third fucking one of these movies. Right? Like, why? Right? And at this point, where we've discussed having an original Tremors 2 with an ending so good that they reused it for the ending of the TV show, Shriek and Destroy, and saying, alright, if you can't get the original people back, we're not going to give you, more money. Moving into this Tremors 3, we get, a whole bunch of original people back. Technically, half the cast, almost. I mean, it is 4 people, but it was a cast of 11. You have Michael Gross returning, obviously, which we'll get into later. Charlotte Stewart returning as Nancy Sturgood, and Ariana Richards returning as Mindy Sturgood, and Robert Jane returning as Melvin Plug, and Tony Gennaro returning as Miguel Sanchez. I'm pretty sure it's Sanchez. Yeah. So all these people will come back. I thought 5 people. Actually, that's more than 4. 5. 11. Everybody comes back. We're still not going to give you any money to do it, even though we're apparently making enough money to make these movies. Oh, we're making it, what about that TV show idea that you guys had in the 90s? Milk a toothbrush. No, seriously. If I can, images of it. Because they had this idea already in the 1990s where Val and Earl are actually basically just monster hunters going out solving monster hunting crimes, ranging from everything to El Blanco to a vampire that's basically an old man in a fishing hat, and killer toasters. And Universal says, we want a TV show. That's the hit thing now. Give us a TV show. So you write one out. Steve Wilson, Brent Mount, all the Stampede people. Boom. Write out a TV show. Do what you can. And this is where we actually start to introduce newer elements and have different other people, joining in for the Stampede team. Honestly, it's kind of awesome. Injecting new elements while still keeping the old that everybody's learning. Making this TV show. And they're like, whoa, numbers! We need a Tremors 4! A Tremors 4, guys! At this point, I'm just using that accent as a through line. That's universal. Give us Tremors 4! Yeah! How about that? We can make our money off of your dead body! Yeah! Alright? And this Tremors 4, you know what? We got it now. Now. Okay, yeah, but we're making a TV show right now. I know I did now! Now! And literally, while they're making the TV show, they have to pick up and start production on Tremors 4. And they were like, hey, if we wait 2 weeks, we can have Michael Gross in all of Tremors the series, and he can still show up to Tremors the 4. Oh no, we don't want to wait 2 weeks. And it's not like not having Michael Gross is a bad thing. We're just like, you couldn't wait 2 weeks for a movie that you still ended up delaying by a year. No, right? And if you think that I'm just making this up, again, read Seeking Perfection by Jonathan Melville, or everything that I'm linking. So there's Tremors the series. Alright, you know what? It's honestly, we're going to cancel it. It's not good enough. It was so good. It was so good that we had to make a movie while you were making it, but it was so terrible that we also had to cancel it before you could even finish shooting the fucking show. Like, again, not joking. Like, this was another Firefly situation of knowing that you're about to be canceled while you're making the show and still making the show anyway, except for it doesn't have a pervert like Joss Whedon behind it. So, like, this is actually a lot better to like, and the potential for more series is there. Mixmaster. Yes. Mixmaster! Best unused plot device in history. I can't tell you anything. Okay, maybe I can. Imagine you could mix the DNA of certain species. Like, you could take like a frog and mix it with a spider, and then mix it with a bat, and you make a spider! But seriously, it would be a frog, spider, bat that did all of those things, did together. Flew around, made webs, was amphibious. Yeah, Mixmaster makes it happen. What if you could make a Graboid, a Shrieker, and an Ass Blaster all into one creature? Mixmaster. Shrieking Grab Blasters. I don't know why I'm using the universal accent for that, because it's true. We should make Shrieking Grab Blasters. This TV show with unlimited potential, and so good it makes a movie. Oh, we're gonna cancel it, and also we're gonna air the episodes completely out of fucking order. It's hard sometimes to keep up accents because a lot of this is really terrible. Like, you're gonna air a show completely out of order to the point where you have to refilm the stuff to make the fact that you're out of order make sense. Is really dumb and hard to talk about from any kind of like entertainment perspective. Like when guys like doing the Game of Thrones thing leave a fucking cup on a table with millions of dollar budgets and we have to reshoot this because we were too stupid to air it in the order it was originally intended. Right? It gets canceled, and again, watch Tremors the TV show. Best thing there is. Dean Norris, Christopher Lloyd, Victor Brown, Gladys Jimenez, Leela Lee, Marcia Strassman. Fantastic. And J.D. Tremors 4 comes out. We can print Tremors on a box, delay Tremors 4 by a year, even though we finished production and we made them get rid of Michael Gross in the TV show because of it. Universal still comes up to Stampede and says, yeah, but we want Tremors 5, we're still gonna want that, give us the money. And, they do what they've been doing for the last 20 years. Write another Tremors. If you go to their IMDb page, it is so sad to see that they were doing all of this stuff before Tremors, gave their life to Tremors, and then Universal keeps for 10 years just like, yeah, we want a Tremors 5. That's not good enough. Rewrite it again. Okay, that wasn't spicy enough. Rewrite it again. And, then Stampede Entertainment's right of refusal clause contract expires. And Universal says, you know what? That whole script that we were having you write for the last 10 years is just so not good enough that we don't want to deal with you anymore because you don't know how to make low-budget movies, even though all the fucking stuff we've had you make is $5 million and under. And kicks them off. Universal kicks out Stampede Entertainment from the thing that they've been making for 25 years. I'm smiling. I am so angry. Because imagine that. You know, you're like writing and rewriting a draft or something for 10 years that never gets actually filmed, and then they take it from you. Something that you worked on for another 25 years. Just all that pain and everything that you put into, you know, sweating and caring about this series. Yep, we don't care. You're just not good enough for the cut. Even though you were good enough to make us this cut of money over the last 30 years, we're just not. Don't care. I use the silly accents and voices because this just really pisses me off. To work on something for that long. Like, everyone gets mad about Zack Snyder in DC, who only worked on his movies for like 5 years. Or 10-ish. We'll give it 10. And, you know, still got to see them all released, even his last one. Gets major money from it too, and it's all in the limelight. And he didn't even fucking make Batman, or Superman, or Wonder Woman, or anything. He didn't even make those. And here we have Tremors, with an estimated retail value of $514 million, even though you can't find any fucking information on that money. Oh, yeah, you're not good enough. You've been good enough for the last 25 years to make us $500 million, but you're not good enough now. Stampede Entertainment, goodbye. Kicked out. How would you feel? People ask me why I do all this for free. Why do I care? Why am I fucking talking to you like this? I protested police murders, like police killing people, like across the house that my family lives from, and I still think that this is somehow a greater crime. Not because murder should be devalued or anything, or that person, but if you take someone's livelihood of 25 years, multiple people's, that is why is that not a form of kind of murdering them? Just fucking stabbing them. Right in the fucking heart and face and brain and lungs and ass. All at the same time. And then, to add the icing on the cake of, yeah, we still want you to promote these movies. So then you can go to the Stampede website and see how for the last almost 6 years, Steve Wilson has been answering every question every Tremors fan has ever had, ever. Started in 2015, right when they got kicked out. Hasn't stopped. Reminds you of Burt Gummer? Overkill much? But still caring. Doing what he can with what he got. And then, Universal says, yeah, you know, it took 25 years to make 5 movies and a TV show. We could fucking beat that record, right? And makes 3 movies in a 5-year time span. And not anything really changes, besides the people behind the scenes. Oh, I mean, that's not true. What you see changes by a fucking lot. It's terrible. I mean, it's watchable, but it's terrible. Because then you find out that Tremors 5 that I was telling you about, where they told him to rewrite and rewrite because it wasn't good enough, oh, they actually used over half of it to make their Tremors 5. So you have Stampede's Tremors 5, Gummer Down Under, and Universal's Tremors 5, Bloodlines. That are basically just the same movie, except one's set in South Africa and one's set in Australia, and one does have Burt Gummer's son and one doesn't. Oh, and one does have, like, baby graboids instead of having your fucking tongue detach. Yeah, imagine how much cooler that would be. Little baby, hundreds of them. Little baby graboids just everywhere. Terrifying. Swarms. Here's a link to that movie. Or we just have like tongues that detach. Because that makes complete sense. Jamie Kennedy's in this movie, and he's somehow the most plausible thing of it. Yeah. I don't rate. Not even that big of a Jamie Kennedy fan. But in comparison, because then you have Michael Gross basically just leading this franchise for the next 5 years. Because they kicked out these other people. He's literally been the only one in every other movie and TV show. And I know, you're sitting here like, oh, whoa. We haven't talked about Michael Gross yet. That's for a very, very good specific reason. And I wanted to make sure we were all the way through here. So anybody who had watched this had made sure they'd watched everything related to Tremors. Because we're going to talk about Tremors 7 and what led me here in the first goddamn place. So you have Michael Gross, who's leading this series for 30 years. Like, Jesus. Like, when I say these like 25, 30 years, these are not exaggerations, people. Like, look up the dates. I can link them for you, but you can look them up yourself. Just go to IMDb. You have Michael Gross here, leading this series for 30 years, even though he's just like kind of a side character in the first one. It's kind of hilarious how that upgrade like grows. You know, I feel I was denied critical need to know information. It's funny how my vaudeville accent, my Michael Gross accent are kind of similar. I get it. Because Michael Gross himself has said that show business is 5% show, 95% business. So then, alright, okay, man gets it. Okay, understandable. We come up to this Tremors 7 here, and you can tell for the last couple of movies that the idea has been to pass a torch off, in essence, to this Jamie Kennedy son figure. Burt Gummer can't live forever, nor can anybody. You're fighting giant monsters. The inevitability that you're going to die, well, I mean, shit happens. Yeah. Honestly, Burt has a great line in the 7th movie. I haven't survived these things, I've just gotten lucky. I don't think that's exactly right, but the idea that, yeah, I haven't beaten them, I've just gotten lucky. You can't always win forever. You're going to die. Like, unless you just like, oh, I don't want to even fight graboids, which is a much better idea. I have a nephew who, when asked, would you like Burt Gummer to exist in this world, immediately says, no, because that would mean graboids are real. And I got to agree with him. You don't want to fuck with monsters in your real life. Because there's plenty of, like, regular real monsters that are horrifying that don't eat you. Well, I mean, they do eat you. They eat your soul and everything, as we're finding out with Universal. You can create something beautiful and magnificent, and they'll just gobble it down. Even Michael Gross, standing the test of time, honestly, as he said, trying to stand as a child between two divorced parents. And, I know I'm getting old, passing the torch off here. Okay, the 7th movie happens, and we're not bringing Jamie Kennedy back. I'd planned an entire storyline around him coming back, so that doesn't really make any sense. We had him in the last movie, and the entire idea was that he was wearing my clothing because he was turning into me. That's a much better Michael Gross. We're going to use that one. And, I feel that that's kind of strange. I don't need better Michael Gross. And Universal's like, no, fuck you. How about this idea that we kill you? Yeah, right? Like, let's just fucking murder you on screen. Because that's awesome. That's the new hip thing to do. I get it. Okay. Alright. You gotta get rid of your characters eventually. It'll give an emotional punch. Okay, that's fine. When you're actually building your movie towards that idea, you watch Tremors 7, and you get this vague destiny is a bitch idea, but no, like, oh, overall passing of torchage, or, hey, I'm gonna die. This is my last go. Goodbye. Any sense while watching a movie, and you more end up having this like classic romp supervillain Richard Brake, fucking awesome, and going full graboid out on everything, super shriekers. One of the only redesigns I kind of halfway like, because the new ass blasters look like blasted ass. Literally. That's not even a predator. That's just an ass blast. This is Predator. And the seventh movie, great kind of fun little romp, if you want to call it that. And he just lead weight, drop. Oh wait, nope. Burt Gummer got eaten at the end. We didn't talk about that. But oh no, he's dead. Boom, died. Michael Gross gone. And you're thinking, oh wow, okay, yeah, they play like a almost. I literally had to look up if Michael Gross was dead because this looks. The montage at the end of 7 looks like an in memoriam segment. Oh, and celebrate Burt Gummer Day and pay your taxes. Burt Gummer's dead. Like, so, okay, A, I didn't know he was dead, and B, there's a Burt Gummer Day? Which we'll get to. So Michael Gross dies. It's sad or whatever. I didn't see this movie for a couple of months. Just happened to put it on a Saturday. See this, and I'm like, what in the fuck? It's like watching, season 8 of Game of Thrones again, to go back to that. Or you're just like, what is this? What the... Okay. Okay, I kind of... The last 2 have been like, whatever, so I guess... Alright. I had no idea about any of this Stampede stuff. I make a comment about it, get really mad. Oh, okay, like, well, okay, people are, like, getting back to me. Let's look up what Michael Gross's thoughts are on this. I mean, the guy's, like, done the thing for 30 years. Oh, wait, he didn't even want to die? He didn't even want a part of this? They came up to him and were like, oh, yeah, this sounds like a good idea. If you ask Michael Gross, he feels like he survived and he's in a wheelchair with rocket launchers. That's Michael Gross's interpretation of the ending. It is ambiguous. He even fought for an even higher level of ambiguity that they fucking slashed and killed, and just like, he was lucky to get what he got in the editing bit. I find this out and I'm like, the fuck, man, the fuckity fuck, man. Okay, this is my favorite movie series. Like, okay, I start looking up and I start to find out all of this stuff that I just told you. And it's just like, what in the hell? Okay, so Burt Gummer's dead. They killed off all the people in the fucking series. Wait a minute. There's a Kevin Bacon pilot that he tried to come back for it. That they won't even, like, show anybody. They filmed every aspect of it. Even fucking VFX. And they won't show anybody? I had to get the fucking script for it and leak it, man. If there's a link to it, boom, right there. Because it's true. Like, they wouldn't even let anybody see it. So this is all happening, and you're like, what in the hell? And then you go to the Stampede site and see Steve Wilson answering questions and being like, yeah, man, we know how much money's being made here. We can't do anything about it. This is shady Hollywood politics. Like, well, this is the fuckity fuck. I've been emailing Steve Wilson. It says SS Wilson in the correspondences. And when you read these things, like, oh, hey, Steve, they stole, like, half of your Tremors 5 script. Like, here's all the pieces. And he's just like, yeah, that's nothing we can do. You're like, what the fuck? And then I found out, with that little tag, what Burt Gummer Day was. And I found out there is something you can do. You can get mad about it. You can make GIFs, make videos, make anything, do whatever. Because here's the real kicker. You're celebrating Burt Gummer Day. Sounds awesome, right? You must have made it up. Seems like a great idea. They talk about it in the 7th movie. You know, there's actually a Burt Gummer Day. Yeah, it was like a superhero. Now, legend in some circle. That's, again, really racist. And I find out, whoa, this was actually created by just some random person on the internet? Look it up. Burt Gummer Day, created by Baby Fark McGeezax of Imgur. I know, right? Like, what? That? Why? But then you see, for the last, again, 5 years, this dude has been making gifts of Burt Gummer because they love them so much. And celebrating every April 14th that it's Burt Gummer Day. And he just chose it randomly. It just seemed like a good day. And Universal does it again. Oh, that's great. We're just going to eat it up. Thank you again for this free thing. We're taking it all in. I don't even really care about the racist vaudevillianness now because it's so true. Where Universal then takes this Burt Gummer Day from Baby Fark McGeezax with no mentions, no thank yous, no hey, you did a great job making this and we're using it in our movie now. And just, plasters it. It's on their account. It's everywhere. This is Tremors Burt Gummer Day. Celebrate it. The fuck? So, if one person can make an entire holiday a real thing just because they love a series so much, and another person can get that series back to its original creators because they love it so much. And that's the whole plan here. Because then, boom, me sending out fucking everybody and getting them, hey, let's like rile some things up here. Got some people to ask Stampede about copyright stuff. And I found out, whoa, yeah, hey, yo, check this out. You know, your copyright thing like expires in 35 years. And if we get the right lawyer, lo and behold, you can actually get your creative IP back. Boom! All right, let's do some Googling. Found this guy, Mark Toberoff. Look him up. He's even fighting Disney. So, ScarJo hating Disney fans, boom, there's some good shit for you, right? Found this guy, sent him everything that I'm talking to you about, all the links, all the jazz. Gets back to me, tells me, great, I love this. You know what? Tremors people might have a case. You could just get me in contact with them. And that email goes to my junk mail, so I didn't get in contact with them. But then I found out that, he actually got in contact with the Tremors people because he'd already contacted them 3 years ago about some other stuff. And that now, oh, hey, yeah, we'd love to, get together and, actually work this out. So now they're doing a whole bunch of stuff behind the scenes. And that's where you've actually started to see this Hollywood Unseen graffiti with punctuation, the Tremors 5 Gummer Down Under article, and more being written and shared about Tremors and letting the world know, no, this is wrong. If if you're trying to save the Venture Brothers and hashtag restore the Snyderverse, here's hashtag Stampede Tremors. It's pretty big words right there. And it's working. I'm letting more people know. It's getting out there. That's what this video is. If you watch this, just share it with your friends. You're like, oh, I don't know what Tremors is. Well, you can watch this crazy person talk about it for a long time. And then, again, it's a graboid hole. You just keep going down and down and down and down and down and down. And we will solve this together. That's the whole point of Tremors 8 Ouroboros. That's right, 8. 8 Ouroboros. Because it's the snake that eats its own tail. The Tremors movie about itself. Not really, but in that metaphorical meta context. Let's resurrect Burt Gummer, because he's not really dead. Let's see Grady and Earl's Monster World. Kevin Bacon coming back, Reba singing a song about graboids. That would be great. Well, I'm loving graboids, and a shrieker cannot tell, 'cause things what you be doing, making vibrations blue. That was not racist, but something worse. Make this movie, and then we make a TV show, and then we actually do everything that we should have done with Tremors in the first place, and we actually give it back to these people who made it. Yeah, does that sound good? Like, doesn't it? Please, Tremors 8 Ouroboros. Can someone in the universe make these things happen? Yes, because it's already happening. Again, there's another link to that. Boom. Read the first 40 pages. So yeah. I hope you've enjoyed my tread talk. I've already used that joke before. It's not organic. I don't mean here. I mean elsewhere, but still not organic. I know. Now there's going to be millions of videos made off of this or whatever if you manage to make it all of these 45 minutes. 41, 42. I hope you enjoy it. And now that you've watched it, now go watch Tremors. 1 through 4, and the TV show. And then the other TV show. And then if you feel like it, you can watch 5 through 7 too. But I mean, that's